Well, hello audience, my name is Hannibal, welcome back to part 2 of Harvester, and I just killed a guy. Fuck. Does nobody find this suspicious? Except for the occasional Hanabal cough, it's hard to tell if the sheep is alive or not. What the hell? This is unexpected. I got arrested.
What were you thinking? Attacking someone like that? With so many witnesses around? You'll have plenty of time to think about it, boy.
What do you call it, boy? Oh.
Somebody help me!
What's going on?
What do you people want from me?
Too late for that, boy. Ain't it, Sergeant?
Whoa, you don't look intimidating at all.
Sheriff, answers may only be found in the lodge, and you must be alive to seek them.
Yeah. All I did was punch a guy. Before I killed somebody with a punch, what I wanted to tell you guys is that I went back to Stephanie's house and actually raided the bathroom medicine cabinet, and I got a bunch of stuff like aspirin and vitamins, and I don't know what any of that's for. I'm assuming it's gonna be related to my health in some way, but obviously I have to explore the town and then make it to the lodge, as the creepy, non-intimidating Scarface guy said. Okay, now I have to be super careful that I don't punch anybody out anymore. Can I talk to you? Mr. Pastorelli doesn't respond, not understanding English. Okay. Made of solidified mousse and sticky hairspray. This lovely mannequin is a work of art. Oh god. It takes a true sportsman to hunt down those dangerous cows. It's a picture of Mr. Pastorelli as a young buck. Okay, can I walk here? Can I walk here without killing somebody? Or is that not gonna let me? Ooh. Alright, who are you? Talk to Mr. Swan.
Howdy, Steve.
Yeah. Howdy back, Mr.
Pete Swell, Steve. Don't you pull my old leg now. Change your mind about that aluminum siding?
What are you talking about?
I really think you should talk your father into buying some. He can afford it. And I can't stress enough the value of some really fine aluminum siding. Keeps it warm in the summer, cool in the winter, and it keeps out the sheep. Pastorelli ought to look into some, but I can't get him to understand a word I say.
Do I dare ask about the sheep?
Can't understand why Pastorelli keeps that nasty thing in here. Must remind him of the pastures in Italy. Kinda like why I keep wrenches under my pillow, so's I can dream about plumbing.
That's so sad.
Well, I seen the end coming for the aluminum siding game, so I took a mail course and learned how to be a plumber. Now, there's a business that never lets up. You'd be surprised what people flush down the toilet. Pastorelli's a rube from way back. Ask Clem Parsons how he followed up with the alarm system in here. I'm a plumber. I could fix it for him, but he just won't listen.
You mean the fire alarm issue?
Nice to see you again, Steve.
How the fuck are you fixing the fire alarm issue? The dangling television is sure to cause the next train at this angle. What the fuck? Colonel Buster Monroe flipping the bird from his B-17 cockpit. Okay. Mr. Parsons.
Hello there, youngster. You see, them aliens I was telling you about? Well, they came back last night. Cut another crop circle in my south field.
How come I never seen none of them saucers, Clem?
Them aliens is wily, Pete. You don't cross the intergalactic void without learning a trick or two. You know what Pastorelli did? Yesterday, he gets an alarm system to protect his pole. Only he don't know how to rig it, so now it's all awry.
What kind of pole are we talking about here?
Why, that barber's pole of his is his pride and joy. Brought it all the way over from Italy, wrapped all special-like. It ain't nothing but colored glass with some bulbs stuck up in it, but he thinks it's the be-all, end-all. Installed that alarm system just to protect it. Though who in tarnation would want to steal a worthless piece of junk like that? I don't know.
Maybe them aliens, Clem.
Oh, Pete, don't be ignorant. Them aliens don't give a fig for no colored glass. You think if they can build spaceships, they can't make a dadgum barber pole? Crazy hick don't know nothing about science. Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap to hire an electrician to hook her up. Dang idiot cross-wired it to the fire sprinkler, so now when the alarm goes off, it sets the sprinkler spraying. Tarnation! Aliens looking for intelligent life ought to stay away from this shop, sure enough.
Oh god, the music's fucked up.
The Pastorelli's a funny sort. Foreigner, don't you know? He cuts hair pretty good, but he don't know spit about nothing else. You just ask him to hook up an alarm system if you need convincing.
Okay, so...
Anytime, Steve.
That's really important. Anything I can steal from here? I mean, acquire. No, let's try. Oh no, fuck! Get back in there, asshole. A fancy barber's pole secured to the wall with straight slot screws. Jim Bob, who was the high school star pitcher 20 years ago, hangs his aging letter jacket here when he comes in for a trim. I didn't need all that backstory. Is that a fucking alien? An unfortunate extraterrestrial who journeyed hundreds of light years to wind up in a mole on the barber's wall. What the fuck is this game? Alright, let's get the tarnation out of here. Alright, what else is old Memorial High School, TV station, Ednas Diner. Oh, shit. Meat plant. Fire station, newspaper building, Wayward Hotel, cemetery. Shady Oaks Mortuary. I want to go to the newspaper building. That's where that Jimbo is. What the fuck happened here? Why am I getting the alien music? What the shit? There's gotta be something here. This is one of those, like, obsessively click. Do I have anything for this? Yeah, so here's the aspirin, cough medicine, vitamins. I don't know where the fuck I picked up tampons. I'm not gonna ask. And a jar of Oralube. I don't know. What's this? A shovel is sticking out of the building's ash. Oh! Use the shovel on the ashes. Buried in ash breeze, you spot a few hidden remains. Remains. Bake. Harvest bake so. Woo! Poster work was buttoned and it looks like it was ripped from the cloth. What is this music, man? Do I keep the shovel? Oh shit. Do I keep the shovel in this? This is freaking weird music, man. Fire station? I guess they would know what happened with the burnt down building. Hopefully, probably, maybe. Hello, Mr. Sir.
Please excuse the mess. They've done wonders with the upstairs bedroom, but this garage defies color coordination.
Oh. I love that that's your major concern. Oh, shit, what did that say? The pickets of the fence gleam with a fresh coat of white paint, like clean-cut soldiers standing at the attention defending truth, justice, and the American way. What's this? Just a patch o' dirt. With all the rose pretty flowers, the firemen have a ton of time on their hands. Yeah, apparently. Because fucking didn't save any buildings from a fire recently. They got nothing to do. male model.
I don't converse on the job, Steve.
Don't bother me, I'm sketching. Oh, look what you made me do!
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the House of Flame, as we like to call it. Oh, cut it out, Spots, honestly. Once he gets barking, a good piece of meat is the only way to shut him up. There you go, Spot.
Is that necessary to say?
Oh, Steve. Bet you don't remember me. Heard about that short in the old wiring. I'm Fire Marshal Sparky, head of your fire department.
Well. Do I ask him the more pressing question about my memory loss or about sketching naked dudes? I'm gonna go with that one.
Please, it's not the subject, it's the process. Don't be such a party pooper, Steve. We're talking about art. Besides, we haven't had a fire in Harvest since the newspaper building burned down. Though I'll admit that the Wasp Woman's place is one big accident waiting to happen. Isn't that right, Spots?
It's fucking dog. Alright, let's
A dreadful affair. You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building with a sprinkler system could go up that quickly.
I could be a dick, let's not. I don't want to test this guy.
Oh, please. Dwayne was glad enough to see the thing go up, and so was McKnight. If you could get into that safe in his wall... Forget it. Look, Steve, as far as I know, the fire was an accident. Let's just leave it at that. Now don't you go moving. Some people think all we do is sit around, sketching, fetching examples of manhood for our own amusement. Nothing could be further from the truth. Why, just the other day we cited Tetsuya Crumb for fire code violations. All the dried out paper wasp nests clustered around our wooden house. Why, it's a chemlog just waiting for the right faggot. Believe me, none of us wants to see another fiasco like the Sentinel fire.
Okay, so I did read that right when I saw that. And then I thought, let me wait for the narrator to say it.
A dreadful affair.
Okay.
You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building...
Okay, you're just saying the same thing. Okay, maybe I'm gonna be mean this time.
Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose or a fireman beating down a blazing door. So what if we're drawing the nude man? So what if all we ever draw is a nude man, or the same nude man over and over in all sorts of provocative positions? Context, not content. Process, not subject. Don't be so ghost, Steve. It's beneath you. Bye-bye.
What's your name? I can get behind you. Sparky, I'll remember you. You're a sweet one.
Stop it! You're messing me up!
Saliva swimming from his barking chops. An accident just waiting to happen in the fireplace. A picture of phallic-like structures standing all in a row. Decorative oriental France from the Ming Dynasty. An impressionistic landscape. The lights are too high up to reach. A picture of a storybook castle. A well-endowed nude man standing in the moonlight. Jesus, it sounds like a fire's happening in the background. A photorealistic mural of a peaceful countryside.
I don't converse on the...
Oh god, he's so monotone. Love his pants. I wanna fuck up with this dog. Alright, let's get out of here. This is... I've taken life drawing classes before, and even that's a little excessive.
Sorry, Steve. After I'm through here, I've got cleaning to do. Rush, rush.
I feel like just obsessively poking everything, because you never know. Oh shit, that was... You heard that backhand for that dog? Jesus. I just backhanded that dog right in the mouth. I really don't know where to go. Meat plant, I guess, because they gave the dog some meat in it, so I'm assuming that... Oh, what the fuck is that pulsating thing? Hello? Who the fuck are you? Oh no, don't exit, don't exit, don't exit, don't exit. What the fuck are you? Examine the tracks, examine the tracks. Bloody tire tracks. These fucking animals outside the door? What is this shit? Hello? No, don't, I don't care about myself. Damn it! Oh god. This is like my nightmare. Oh my god. Whatever's in these barrels smells extremely bad. Why are there pussy everywhere? The carcasses of several small animals. This used to be a kitty cat. Ah, this is great. Can I collect these bones? Oh, Jesus.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say. Though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that amnesia hokum. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly?
Let's talk about the fucking cats.
What's with all the cats? This a slaughterhouse or a kennel?
Oh, them? They eat the scraps, that's all.
Yeah, but look at them. Isn't there some kind of health department that keeps tabs on these things?
Are you going to work at the health department, Steve? Or here? Maybe I get sick of do-gooder busybodies sucking around here all the time. A man's up to his elbows in guts all day, every day. What more do they want from him?
That doesn't look like a cat. Let's talk about the
What
day.
exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, and getting into the lodge.
Family business?
You may come to realize that this business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach. A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it?
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts. Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining
I get it, I don't need to
quality
see
while
that shit
cutting costs.
6
We know
times.
what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs? Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
Cutting costs?
There are certain tricks of the trade, Steve. Once your dad gets better and you start working in here cutting up the meat, you'll be privy to them. There's always cheaper, better ways to do things, if you're creative.
Alright, I think,
Don't be such a stranger, Steve. And my best to your dad.
It's all cats. There's cats everywhere. There's a cat here. There's a kitty cat there. It's not even a kitty cat anymore. This is fucked up. Oh god, this is just fucked up. I don't eat pussy like that. Not like that. Real red brick building with horrible stench coming from within. Okay, so I need... No, fuck off. I want to go back to the house of kitty horror. I need written permission from my dad to get meat to give to the dog? I really don't want to go to freaking missile base. Where I guess the school. It's in the trash. A distasteful amalgamation of chewed gum, mangled love notes, broken ballpoints, oozing blue ink, and waddled Kleenex. Oh shit. Hi, I can just walk in here apparently. Don't mind me. A projector carefully engineered to sound good when played underwater. Oh. Shit. Did I do something? Bulletin board riddled with staples. I want the staples, bro. You never know what it's useful. Give me all of your staples. Oh, hey, you.
Steve, good of you to drop by, big guy. Haven't seen you since graduation. A lot of changes, I hear.
You could say that.
Good, good. That's a nice part of my job. Turning fine young men and women out into the world, and then watching them prosper. Of course, I was able to reach more people at the old Sentinel, God bless her. But then again, I never got to see the results of my work up close before.
Who are you?
You know very well I'm Mr. Harold, principal of Kean Memorial. Steve, I've heard about this amnesia nonsense. I had hoped you'd be in the lodge by now, fine young fellow like yourself. But now, I think maybe you need a little more quality time.
I don't... Oh god. Oh god. Quality time.
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love.
Oh god, you're another pervert.
Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society.
I just can't. And it clears all the dialogue options. Oh god.
You turned out pretty good.
It's not nonsense.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Maybe you need a little straightening out.
Oh god.
Oh, the things I could do
I
to...
don't want to read that.
Drop in again soon. Adult education...
I just can't. I can't. That's just super uncomfortable. Oh god, that's super uncomfortable. Okay, there's clearly something I need. Glass protected firewall. Door is locked. Stunned and zombified.
My goodness, class, this is Stephen. He used to be a student here at Kean Memorial. Say hello, class. They're reticent. The educator's greatest problem today is the apathy of the students.
What's wrong with their heads?
I can tell you in one word, Stephen. Discipline. Thank goodness you
what's wrong
weren't a
with their
sulky
heads?
bear. You were always a smiley bear.
Then you remember me?
Not
looks
as
like
such.
it's all pixelated
so
hair.
many pupils, Stephen. They come and they go. But I can always spot those who are nice boys. You can tell from the forehead. The lobes, right, class? I'm glad you stopped by, Stephen. Would you care to say a few words to the class about civic responsibility?
Not really. I was just passing through.
Oh, but you must, Stephen. A positive role model might be just the thing to inspire these little monsters. Stephen, have you any questions for me? Or shall I continue with class? Ask away, then.
Damn it.
We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin. But a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely. Oh dear, Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
What the fuck? Oh, she's legit. This is Walking Dead bullshit here. Holy hell.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
You're about to find out, bitch! Oh shit, he's dead. He's dead. She looks really
My
related to me.
stars, that was exciting.
She looks like she's related to me.
This lodge. What do you know about it?
The building
You see
itself,
there's
like
emblems?
Harvest, was constructed with a specific purpose in mind. That noble intent is known only to those within the Order. You're at about the right age to join them, Stephen, and you will do so if you care about your future.
Can you tell me anything about Harvest?
Harvest was founded by the Order of the Harvest Moon about 100 years ago.
For what purpose?
Why, I'm sure you'd have to ask them. You'll find the members of the Order at the lodge. Stop by any time, Stephen.
Oh, shit. Damn it. See, it's terrible with this point and click. I can't really... Rough sketch of the lodge. I feel like there's something in here. Size of project... I'm trying to go to the drawers. It's not letting me go to the drawers. Okay. Alright, I want to get in that room. Alright, I have to figure out how to get in that room. Yep. Does it just take a while to exit or what? There we go. Oh, that was for the TV station. Okay. The Indians, too busy drinking and smoking, they ignore you. A silver tucker with a yellow interior.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Riders Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve.
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve? Here you go, then. Violence? What about it? Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickaroo! The parents that are griping about violence on TV are the same parents that go outside in the morning to fetch their papers, secure in the knowledge that they won't get an arrow through the noodle because the violence they hate so much done cleared the Injuns out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, civilization has benefited from violence. But should violence be treated as entertainment?
Check my rating, son. Violence is entertainment. I just put it on the air. If some kid watches, that says something about the kid, not me. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
I got it.
Can't talk now, buckaroo.
I just I need, oh gosh.
Happy trails, buckaroo.
I need to hear that. A fairly primitive form of mind control. No one is operating the cameras. What the fuck? A corny western backdrop complete with cardboard teepee. There's nothing about the microphone. Either the show isn't compelling or no one wanted it to be taken out by friendly fire. The hell is this? Looks like Trump. Very poor reception, strange since the broadcast originates from here. Operate the picture. Oh shit! Well. Oh, hey, you.
Hey, sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is. You always work.
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey, WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, sport. Partners. I run the whole show solo, pal.
Wasn't there another
Don't
dude?
hurry back.
Oh, well, excuse me. I could have sworn there was another dude. Okay, so I guess the purpose of that... Okay, so... Oh god, there's so much for me to find. I think what I'm gonna do, after I'm done exploring really quickly all of these buildings, what I'm going to do is in the next part, I'm gonna gather a bunch of items. Because there's probably items I'm missing. There's no way that I'm not missing stuff. A 1955 Frag 100 with a real leather seat. I'm probably gonna gather all of the items and then test it out and everything and see where everything works, because clearly there's something. Well, what the fuck are you doing, Karen?
Hi, what's your name?
Karen,
What are you doing?
playing. My mom is working, so I gotta stay out of her hair. Wanna play?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You're probably the most normal person. An unlocked drawer. Ooh, let me take all that shit. What is that a hypodermic needle? Examine the string slot screwdriver. Well, alright. Anything else I could pick up here? Didn't need to go that hard and assume it's a hypodermic needle, apparently.
Oh,
oh,
Steve, what are you doing sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order? Well, you're in Edna's Diner. That ought to be your first clue.
I thought this was DNA's diner.
Very funny. If certain customers would stop pretending to have amnesia and order some food, maybe I could afford to get that sign fixed. Might even be able to buy enough extra letters to spell Fitzpatrick.
I'm not pretending.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything.
what's with your
If
face?
you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old. You've met Karen, my 8-year-old. Other than the diner, she's all I have.
Why are you playing on the floor in the diner, though? Whatever, it's not that
There
strange.
isn't a nicer girl in Harvest than Stephanie, Steve. You should be grateful that she's promised you her hand.
I don't remember that happening, Edna.
Honestly, you men are so childish. I don't know what it is about marriage that turns even the bravest man into a coward. I was going to marry Karen's father when he just up and ran out on me one night. I heard that he joined the lodge, but if he did, I never saw him come out again. Even Sheriff Dwayne wasn't able to find out what happened to him. Mr. Johnson has a liking for me. I'd call it a crush, but that's too innocent a word. He's a bitter man with too much time on his hands.
He's a fucking creep.
He's never gotten over being rejected by the lodge. And there's something unwholesome in the way he looks at me. I'm always glad when the sheriff comes in every day at noon.
Sheriff.
Sheriff Dwayne is such a dear man. And I don't just say that because he's my most regular customer. Every single day, rain or shine, he comes in here at noon for lunch. Sits in the same spot, too. That's at least an hour every day when I can be sure Mr. Johnson won't show up. You know, it's funny. Dwayne never comes in here with Deputy Loomis, but he frequently dines with Mr. McKnight. You know, the owner of the TV station. Sometimes he comes in with Postmaster Boyle, but somehow I don't think they're friends.
Uh-huh.
Though I
Boyle.
see them together a lot, Boyle and the sheriff never act very friendly towards each other. Almost like there's some kind of bond between them besides friendship, though what it might be I can't imagine. Maybe Sheriff Dwayne resents the fact that he's never been able to get into the lodge, though that's not Boyle's fault. He just hands out the applications. He doesn't decide who gets admitted. The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve, and soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his scythe when the wheat ripens.
What the fuck, man?
The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sun's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me. Stop by anytime, Steve.
Out of everybody, she's probably the most normal, and Karen's fairly normal too. I think Karen's a little fucked. But that's because I'm very weary of little children.
Stop by and
shut the fuck up. I'm talking about you. You don't get to talk when I'm talking about you. Alright. So what I'm going to... I'll examine your inventory. I don't give a shit about my inventory. Alright, so this is what I've decided to do. So... I'm gonna go through all of these places again and just start randomly clicking. Just randomly clicking like I did at the newspaper place and see what I can pick up. Once I've gathered all of those items, I'll start back again and we'll just plug away. I'll plug away and see what works. Or you know what, I'll probably do that off camera too, just so we can save some time. So this is probably gonna be how I end day 1 of Harvest. It's just taking these random items and just seeing where they fit. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. And if you liked it, leave a like. And if you like, share it. Otherwise, subscribe. Why not, right? See you next time.